Hi, it's Dr. Lassane back again with a short screencast about doing your annotated bibliographies for the course. This top part here comes from the syllabus directly, so you've seen it already, that in addition to the books that you're reading for the course from the front of the syllabus, you're going to read an additional 50 books for children. The books have to meet the requirements that are here. You'll create 5 separate annotated bibliographies which are to be prepared as if they are for distribution to children and parents at a family literacy night. Now, while you'll create 5 separate annotated bibliographies, these 5 comprise the one assignment. So each annotated bibliography is worth 20 points. That should indicate to you that each entry on each annotated bibliography is worth about 2 points. So if you're looking for some insight into how I grade, this is how. Here are the requirements. You need to read 10 Caldecott or Caldecott honor winning books. The Caldecott's been given since 1938. One book gets a Caldecott, and you can have honor books. They range from some years 1 Caldecott honor to this past year, to 2015 rather, 6 Caldecott honor books. So you're going to have plenty from which to choose your 10. You do need to make sure that the books cover at least a 50-year range. So that means go back to the 40s, go back to the 60s, go back to the 80s. Don't do all of your Caldecott and Caldecott Honor award-winning books simply from the last couple of years. As a matter of fact, I think you'll find when you go into libraries and you're trying to put your hands on books that it's going to be easier to find some of the earlier ones than some of the later ones. You're going to read 10 books from the New York Times bestseller list for children. Please do the picture books, and they can have appeared on the chart anywhere from January through June of 2015. That's totally up to you. 10 books from the Put a Belpré Award list, which allows you to include the winners and or the honor books. That's up to you as well. If you stick with the Illustrator Award, you will be looking at picture books, and they will read much more quickly. 10 Coretta Scott King or Coretta Scott King honor-winning books. Again, sticking with the Illustrator Award will give you picture books. Those books will read shorter, and you may certainly do that. Those books should represent a 30-year range. The award itself has been given for more than 40 years, so again, should not have a problem including a handful of books from the past, not everything from just the last couple of years. And finally, 10 books from the Geisel or Geisel honor-winning books. Those are easy-to-read chapter books, which again, should read pretty quickly. So while there are 50 more books to read, that reading load should not be too onerous for you at all. Now, after you've read them, what do you do with them? Well, you're going to create an annotated bibliography. And if you'll remember, we use APA format in the department. If you are unsure about APA format, go out to the website. There are plenty of websites that will give you the citation forms. You can also use programs such as Cite This and RefMe, which will put things in APA format for you. That's not a big deal, but do remember it's APA format. Some specifics for the assignment: you have to have a JPEG for the cover of the book. These are easily downloaded from many sources, including Google Images, Goodreads, Amazon. But make sure that whatever JPEG you select, that cover is very clear. Some downloads, some JPEGs that are out there do not really download well and don't reproduce well in your assignment. So make sure that you're doing something that looks good there. You're going to write a brief, interesting annotation for each book that would interest a potential reader, a child or adult, preferably both. And then format these, the annotated bibliographies themselves, the entries, in such a way that they'll be attractive and get the attention of someone at a family literacy night. But remember, if you use something like Publisher or another program, to save your work as a PDF so that I will be able to open it even if I don't have the application. And while you'll have 5 separate files, one for Caldecott, one for New York Times, one for Belpré, one for Coretta Scott King, one for Geisel, all of these will be turned in at the same time according to the deadline specified. Please be sure that you hit that deadline. The deadlines are at LiveBinder, that they're also at Blackboard as well. I'm not going to provide a screencast here of how to do those separate annotations because these are just a slight variation of what you're doing for your blog already. They don't have to be as long. They don't have to include textbook references. They don't necessarily have to include a trailer or anything else, although if you're really trying to get people to take a look at stuff, you'll want to include things that are eye-catching, that are interesting. So these are the basic pieces of this assignment. Again, I don't think that it's anything that you should have a lot of questions about, but if you do, please, 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 please get in touch with me. I'll be happy to answer your questions.